Your best choice. BEFM 부산영어방송.
9년 전 한국에서의 새로운 출발을 위해 부산을 처음 찾은 프랭크. 부산의 자연과 사람, 부산에서 누리는 모든 것을 사랑하는 그는 부산의 변함없는 한대에 늘 감탄합니다.
I think that Busan people are actually very, very kind and very welcoming. If I seemed a little lost, there was always someone that was there to ask me if I needed help. They're more seriously friendly than it's very serious. I very seriously want to help you.
부산의 한결같은 모습도 늘 감동을 주지만 이제는 부산의 미래를 꿈꾸며 2030년 부산의 새로운 도약을 기대합니다.
Busan people are very proud of their city. They want to share the city with everyone. If we get the World Expo, it'll really put Busan on a global map.
세계 박람회가 어울리는 도시, 미래를 향한 힘찬 도약. 부산에서 출발한 파도는 이미 세계를 향해 뻗어나가고 있습니다. 2030 부산 세계 박람회. 부산이 시작하고 대한민국이 함께 이뤄갑니다. 이 캠페인은 지역과 함께하는 든든한 동반자 BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Coming up next is 인싸의학 Busan with Laura McLucky and Minsu Shin. BFM 부산영어방송.
Hello, good evening and happy Tuesday to you all, or should I say rainy Tuesday to you all. It's inside Busan, and these days, of course, rainy season, sudden torrential rainfall. It's being referred to as the goblin rainy season, 도깨비 장마.
도깨비 장마라고 하네요. So this summer, actually, because of the prolonged rainy season that we're having, there's actually a lot of products for the 장마 season being really promoted. A lot of stores, a lot of sites, things like dehumidifiers, rain boots. They're selling like hotcakes, they say.
And 방수, waterproofing functions. They've become a hot trend in the fashion industry as well. Clothes dryers also now considered essential during this season.
Yeah, must, right? So this year's rainy season seems to be, a lot wetter, a lot heavier than before, right? So everybody stay alert and safe and, gear up.
Get down, 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 get down. feel like the jungle boogie. Get down, get down with the boogie. Say, get down, say, get down, say, get down, say, till you feel it, y'all. Get down, y'all. Get down, get up, y'all. With the get down.
What was that? What was
You know,
that?
probably the lyrics to that song could fit, I want to say, like, that was like 20 words or less.
What just happened to me?
Yeah.
I feel a little violent.
Cool in the Gang with Jungle Boogie to start off a show. That is the title of the song. Go download it to all your phones and computers.
Jungle boogie, diddly ding, diddly ding. Oh, do you know, I saw a horrible meme today, and it made me cry.
Oh,
Very, very sad.
a meme
A
that
meme.
made you cry.
Yeah, a meme that made me cry. And it was about 2-for-1 snacks at a certain brand of Korean convenience store.
Yeah.
But the picture was a leopard who had caught a monkey, and then in the first picture you see the monkey in the leopard's jaws, and then in the next picture you see that there's a little baby monkey hanging onto the mummy that's been caught.
Oh,
Floods of tears. It's affected my whole day.
Yeah.
Thinking about it now, I want to cry again.
why even bringing that up with me and thousands of our listeners
Jungle
right now?
Boogie.
Because of Jungle
Well,
Boogie?
do you know what? The circle of life, man. Life
Yeah.
goes on, but I was just so sad.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been sad too
Thinking about it, I'm
if we saw that meme.
We're tearing
Yeah.
up again.
Listeners, we do apologize to start off the show with
Jungle Boogie.
no, not Jungle Boogie, with that story actually. But thank you so much for joining us. This is the first hour of Inside Busan here at BFM.
is.
I am
Yes.
Min-Soo Shin.
I'm Laura McLucky. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. It's 화요일, which is
화요일.
Tuesday. And it's the 18th of July. We've already passed the middle of the month.
It is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You're crazy.
And we've been second half of the month for like 2 days now.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Why is it always the second half of something? Like whenever I realize it is.
Wait a minute.
I've never in the
eaten
first
half of this donut.
Oh, exactly.
What did it taste like?
Story of my life, right? So obviously, listeners, if you look out the window, whether it be in your car or at home, lots of rain, right?
Are you wet at the moment?
Yeah, I'm
Moist?
sure. Moist, right? Damp, maybe
My
for some
pants are
people.
damp.
So a lot of people are trying to actually not only beat the heat, but beat the wetness, the
Yeah.
moisture, right? So there are essential items needed for monsoon season these days, right? So here in Korea, sales of 제습기, dehumidifiers, as well as 건조기,
Yeah.
dryers, right, for your laundry. The sales of these products, these appliances have soared significantly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Rain boots. I know that we've all got rain boots, but I've not seen anybody wearing them recently.
Actually, I have a pair.
Yeah.
But I'm a little
just got
scared
them
to
on.
wear them.
Why?
I don't know why.
Because people think, I don't know. Why not? I mean, why?
Yeah.
I can't think of a bad reason to wear
It's because I don't think I could pull them off. That's the
Of
thing.
course you can.
Right?
Go for it.
See, I'm not about the looks. I'm about,
Function.
function, right? But a little bit about the looks.
I support your fashion choices and your function choices.
Nah.
So wear them. But rain boots, they're a fashion trend, actually. They're a fashion item during rainy season. They saw a nearly six-fold, actually 553% increase in sales.
Goodness.
Rainwear, windbreakers, 바람막이, 점퍼, which are waterproof or windproof, they also increased.
Yeah.
바람막이.
Makes sense,
I
right?
want to maggie the 바람.
There's actually things called shoe dryers. Have you heard of this? Right?
Shoe dryers?
Yeah. And it's not just another word for fan.
Yeah.
Right? There's actually like appliances where you put in like you know how they have dryers for like fluffers for your like dogs?
Yeah.
Right? They have dryers for basically your shoe. It's like a small like shoe kind of thing box. You put them in and then it heats it up.
I want to get a fluffer for my dog, though. That'd be cool.
Right? So
the
these mini
rainy season.
dryers
Yeah.
that they have, they also have just towel dryers. So if you can't, let's say, maybe go for like a huge, just laundry dryer, you could buy like specific
A
dryer for
small one.
specific needs, right?
That's so cool. Actually, I was at a certain department store and they have umbrella dryers. You put your umbrella in, it goes, and then you pull it out.
그건 좀 오버다. I think that's a little too much.
It was too much. Didn't really work.
Right? Why do you need dry umbrellas?
Because it
Yeah.
doesn't drip all over the floor, and it's not using plastic.
True.
That's the point, right?
Yeah.
That's the point. Anyway, the cooling deodorizing spray is also getting very popular on the sly, though. You know, so you don't need to clean your underarms with wet wipes anymore, Minsu.
Well,
He does that a lot.
I've never done that.
Studio.
Especially here in the studio.
You can apply this to the outside of your clothing, and it has an instant effect, a refreshing scent. So if you have any offensive body odors in this heat, which we all do, I'm sure.
And why'd you look at me when you say that?
No, me.
Oh.
More so than other people. In general,
Yeah.
this cooling deodorizing spray is really, really good. Just not just for the summer. I mean, just in general. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, listeners, with all these things, you know, these types of products, appliances on the rise in terms of sales, because everybody's trying to, not only, like I said, beat the heat because it's so hot and so muggy outside, but with all the rain that's happening, they're trying their best to stay dry as possible. So, we want to find out from you, what's a must-have item for you to get through the goblin rainy season? 네, 도깨비 장마철의 필수품은 무엇입니까? Like, so they have these 3-level umbrellas, right? So it's not just like one layer of an umbrella, and they have like another layer on top of that to block out like UV rays or the sun,
Yeah.
right? So they have these super heavy duty umbrellas that they sell these days. They're huge too. Cause think, like umbrella, they pretty much keep my hair and my face dry, but everything else gets wet, right?
Everything else gets wet.
These umbrellas, they like cover like up to your shoulder.
Yeah.
To stay as dry as possible.
That's what you need.
네, raincoats, ponchos, right? Ubi, or maybe just like a, like handkerchief, 손수건.
Have you ever just put like a plastic bag on your head and walked around?
I don't think so. I put like a huge like trash bag over my body to keep dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not on my head.
You don't need
That's
to be
not-
that fashionable.
That's not safe actually.
I don't mean across your face. I mean like just over your head. Let's open it up at the side and then just stick it on your head.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll definitely keep it dry, but I've never seen people do that.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Whatever
Scotland.
works. Whatever works, right? But let us know. We want to find out from you. 네, 도깨비 장마철의 필수품은 무엇입니까? Pound 9050, shop 9050. You could chat with us on our Kakao Talk or on our YouTube because we're live.
Yes, we are.
Come
Go
see
and
our pretty
find
faces.
us. Go and
Nah.
find us. All right, now it's time for Annie. That's right. It's time for News Bites. Annie's here in the studio wearing her rain boots. Hi, Annie.
Hello. Yes, I have rain boots.
See-
I look massive.
Annie could pull it off. Yeah. And the camera's
Annie's
maybe a little close
fashion
to you, but that's
forward.
fine. Yeah.
Yes, I got rain boots for the season, and I am wearing them.
Oh, they look pretty new actually.
They're brand new.
Ooh, all
for
right.
the
So
season.
rain boots. Okay, 장마 필수품 for you.
Yeah.
Water bottle.
Why a water bottle?
Because when it's raining, I think I don't need to drink water, but I dehydrate quickly from the heat.
Oh yeah.
So water bottle.
just get into your body with the process of osmosis.
absorbing.
Annie.
I mean, because it's like you tend to forget because you're all around water.
Yeah.
Like you forget to drink it.
You got to drink this.
I can see that happening. Yeah.
Even now, I'm a little thirsty.
So water bottle a must,
Yes.
right? Well, hang on tight just a little bit, right? Because
Okay.
you got to get through news first.
Of course.
You like how we keep you from your water to do the news. So what do you got for us today?
Right. So first, U.S. National Security Council Coordinator for Indo-Pacific Affairs, that's Kurt Campbell, he announced today that a U.S. nuclear-powered ballistic missile-carrying submarine, shortened to SSBN, is making a port call in Busan port right now. Campbell added during a press conference after co-chairing the inaugural session of the Nuclear Consultative Group, that's shortened to NCG, that this is the first port call for a nuclear submarine in decades here in Korea. And this is a display of the U.S. extended deterrence commitment to South Korea. And this was all agreed on back in April when U.S. President Joe Biden and President Yoon Suk-yeol met.
All right. Can you tell us more about then this SSBN? What exactly is it?
Right. So SSBN is a nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine that carries out strategic missions with submarine-launched ballistic missiles. Basically, it's a submarine that has missiles on it. The last time an SSBN made a port call in Korea, port call just means it's here docking, staying for a little bit, in Korea was actually back in March of 1981 with the USS Robert E. Lee. As for the launch of the NCG that I mentioned, that's the Nuclear Consultative Group, Campbell explained that comprehensive efforts at the pan-government level will be carried out for a long time, and they believe it's quite important to demonstrate this commitment to South Korea for all to see. Through a little bit of summary.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's been, what? Many decades, right? Since the last time an SSBN made it to port to here in Korea. I could see this kind of setting off a chain of events in terms of just, other countries kind of reacting
Yes.
North Korea was not happy.
to the news. Yes, obviously,
we
that's
can
exactly what I was
imagine,
talking about,
right? Yeah.
right? So, any updates on this, I'm sure you'll fill us in on.
Right.
Thank you for that. What's next?
The minimum wage. So with the minimum wage level decision for next year on the verge of being decided, it hasn't yet. The labor and management circles are still at a difference in their positions. So the labor group lowered the minimum wage level demand from their initial 12,210 won down to 10,621. And then the management group raised it up to 9,785 won from their initial 9,007. Oh, sorry, I wrote the same one. No, I believe it was 9,621. And the management, this reduced the gap between the two groups to a 835 won difference, which is a jump from the initial 2,591 difference. But again, they have not been able to come to an agreement. This means that the Minimum Wage Commission, which is composed of 9 representatives from each of the management, labor, and general public, may have to hold a vote to determine the final minimum wage for next year.
See, here's the thing. So the Labour group were at an initial 12,210 won, and they lowered it to 10,621. But the management had only gone down a couple hundred won. It doesn't seem like there's being a fair, what do you call a compromise going on here. But when can we expect a final number?
Right, so it's actually a little fun fact here. The longest that both sides have taken to come to an agreement, that's 109 days so far since the system began. But it's actually kind of hard to say when an exact date is going to come out just yet. If the parties fail to meet somewhere in the middle, a majority vote will have to make the final decision. And then by law, the commission is required to present the new minimum wage to the labor minister, who is then required to announce it publicly. The new wage will, as we all know, take effect January 1st, 2024. But in previous reports, I did see that it should be August 5th.
Okay.
Don't quote me.
Oh, okay.
So it could be soon, but
August 5th of
May-
this
It's
gonna be
year.
very soon, yes.
right?
may or may not be.
Okay.
Then. Well,
Let's just comfortably say in between that time.
Yes, I
Yeah.
like that.
before January 2024.
Yeah.
I'll be
at
back
some
with
point.
firm numbers soon.
Yes. Keep us updated,
Well,
right?
hopefully the Labour group get a fair compromise on
I really
this.
do hope they can meet in the
Yeah.
middle.
Of course.
Absolutely.
We're now going to move on to our last bit of news. Of course, with the weather we're dealing with here in Korea. But, this is something that's actually being seen a lot more around the world right now as well, right?
That's right. So we are dealing with torrential rain and flooding, even throughout Asia. But Europe and the U.S. are experiencing scorching heat waves that are breaking records. So parts of Italy, that's Sicily and like Sardinia, are looking to reach a peak of 48 degrees Celsius. It's
48.
similar, yes, 48. Similar conditions in Greece and Spain, which have been maintaining a mid to high 40s. They've been sweltering for days already, but the European Space Agency said that this is just the beginning of their heat wave. This not only is a danger to humans, but also to the animals and agricultural ecosystem. And also, there are wildfires breaking out all across countries like Greece. Apparently, there's 80 wildfires, and also throughout Spain.
Yeah.
If we go to the U.S., the southern region of the U.S. has been sitting at a comfortable 43 degrees Celsius, which is dangerously high, while the East Coast is then experiencing flooding and also poor air quality from the Canadian wildfires.
I can't imagine what, more than 40 degrees
Right.
feels like. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sure very hot. That's just crazy to me that, this is happening around the world. What about countries specifically in Asia?
Right. So while we had the devastating floods over the weekend that unfortunately claimed 41 lives and even damaged cultural heritage sites, some areas in China have had temperatures go up to 52 degrees Celsius, along with torrential rains in other regions. So they're having both.
Goodness.
52, yes. Japan is no exception here as well as India, which I did bring up a couple of weeks ago, I
Yeah.
believe. So they have had deadly flooding as well as deadly heat on top of the flooding. So this is just a sign of the changing climate. And for now, we just basically need to arm up with some knowledge about how to act in these dangerous situations, such as flooding and probably scorching heat for us as well in the future.
See, this is just terrifying because climate change deniers still exist, right?
Yeah.
And so we can see the impact that we've had. We talked about this Anthropocene yesterday, didn't
Yeah.
we? The impact that we've had on the planet as humans. And it's really not good. We've got to do something.
Yeah. So, with the rain that we're experiencing here right now in Korea, I'm sure listeners probably, would see it was like, wow, there is something wrong with the environment. But now that we know what's happening in the rest of the world, really paints a picture, for us here in the studio for sure, and hopefully for our listeners of how climate change is affecting
This
just
is
the rest of the
happening
world.
all concurrently.
Yeah.
At the same time, right
Yes.
now, simultaneously, right?
Yeah.
So, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, thank you so much for letting us know, what's happening around the world as well as the updates that you provided us, what's happening here. Annie, have a good rest of your day, okay?
I will try to stay dry.
Thanks, Annie.
Do your best.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bit of a classic now from the Backstreet Boys, As Long As You Love Me.
All the loneliness has always been a friend of mine. I'm leaving my life in your hands. People say I'm crazy and that I am blind, risking it all in a glance. And how you got me blind is still a mystery. I can't get you out of my head. Don't care what is written in your history, as long as you're here with me. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love me. Who you are, where you're from, don't care what you did, as long as you love me. Every little thing that you have said and done feels like it's deep within me. Doesn't really matter if you're on the run. It seems like we're meant to be. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love me. Who you are, where you're from, don't care what you did, as long as you love me. As long as you love me. I've tried to hide it so that no one knows, but I guess it shows when you look into my eyes. What you did and where you're coming from, I don't care. As long as you love me, baby. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love me. Who you are, where you're from, don't care what you did, as long as you love me. Who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love me. Who you are, where you're from, as long as you love me. Who you are, as long as you love me. What you did, I don't care, as long as you love me.
Oh, a little bit of Backstreet Boys.
BSB.
BSB.
Yeah. But we're Team NSYNC all the way here in the studio, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Although I would like
better.
to do a little, like a Backstreet Boys / NSYNC like harmonizing session.
Oh, you mean like a medley?
Yeah.
Of two? No.
Well, not of like the two bands together, no,
Oh,
but like
okay.
harmonize. Like we just sing the songs and we
Oh
harmonize.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
and-
we could do a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, we don't mix BSB with NSYNC. That's a big no-no, all
No.
right? JT for life!
For sure. That little ramen hair, ramen noodle,
Yeah. Although,
so handsome,
yeah.
so cute.
Although JC Chazet,
Who?
Chazet,
Who are you
the
talking
other
about?
the lead singer of NSYNC.
Ah, yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, really? I thought he was
No.
a better vocalist than Justin Timberlake. But overall, JT a better entertainer.
100%.
Yeah.
Also in The Lonely Island is one of my favorites of JT, but we can't talk about that one.
Yes. I don't think that's radio friendly.
Anyways, welcome back to the show, everybody. 6:32 on the clock. It is Tuesday, the 18th of July. You're tuned into Inside Out Busan. I'm Laura McCluckey.
And I'm Minsu Shin. So we have our blinds closed, so I
Yeah.
can't really see what the weather is like, but we have the information on paper.
We do indeed. The mercury level, aka the temperature, is
Yes.
currently averaging 23 degrees Celsius. Morning lows of 23 tomorrow morning, afternoon highs of 28. It is forecast to be another day of soaking downpours with heavy rain, just like today. It will be cloudy tomorrow. There will be showers in some places. Busan will see rain tapering off, however, as the day goes on.
Yeah.
So just FYI, it's
Yeah.
going to be rainy, but hopefully it should stop by the end of tomorrow. 오늘 밤은 비가 많이 오겠습니다. 그러나 내일 부산은 종일 흐리겠고요. 곳에 따라 소나기가 오는 곳도 있겠습니다. 근데 내일까지 오는 것 같습니다.
네, 조금 참아주시고, take care of whatever it is that you gotta take care of, right? To stay safe.
Take care of your business.
Yeah, exactly. When it comes to our traffic, we have congestion on the Nam Express from Daejeon Interchange going towards Mandok Interchange. There's also congestion on Hwangyongdaero from Busan 상공회의소 going towards Hwangyong Tunnel. Slow-moving traffic on Daegyeoro from Busan Daegyo going towards Saegwan Three-Way Intersection. Everybody,
Drive safe.
부탁드릴게요.
Yes.
네네. Let's say hi to a couple people
Yeah.
messaging in. Let's see. Let me open this up. We have on our YouTube. We have Mr. E saying good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lee.
Mr. E, good afternoon. We have 배영건님 saying good evening. Good evening to you, HK.
Good evening.
Right. 한이님. I don't know if I've seen this name before on our YouTube.
Who is Hani?
Yeah. Well,
한이님.
한이님.
Hi,
Welcome to
Hani.
our show if this is the first time. If it's not, how dare I forget?
How dare you?
Right? But she says, as long as Laura loves me, this is one of my favorite songs. I love this song of the Backstreet Boys.
And then 부산영어방송 said, breaking news. She loves you.
맞아요. Yeah, honey, thank goodness Laura loves you at least, right?
As long as
'Cause-
Minsu loves you. Minsu also loves you. I know you didn't ask, but
yeah.
Minsu also loves you.
No, but it seems like Honey님's very much invested in the Backstreet Boys, right?
And in Laura.
Which I enjoy their songs, right? But naturally, we do have beef, Honey님. Because like I said, I'm Team NSYNC.
Oh,
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye,
It's gonna
bye.
be May.
Yeah.
Anyways,
We
hello
can't
to
sing that
everybody
until
on our
next year
YouTube.
now.
Yes. And hello to, everybody on our radios.
Yes, and if you haven't joined us on the YouTube channel, please do go and check us out. Of course, you can find us in your car, on the radio, or other radios or apps, etc. But if you get onto your YouTube, search for BEFM or 부산영어방송, you'll see us, our pretty faces, and you'll see what it looks like in the studio. Also, we've got Haley coming up as well for TMI Busan, so you'll get to see Haley's face as well. There's her hand. Just off
In
the
one of
screen.
our screens,
not sure
there
which
you
one
go.
it is. There we go.
That's there you go. Hand and a wrist, right?
There it is.
All right. Well, let's get to the portion of our show that we like to call IOB 5분 상식.
Yep, it's time for the IOB 5분 상식, getting you in the know of some of the most useful, trending and need-to-know words and expressions. 5분만 들으면 유식해지는 시간이죠.
네, 오늘의 5분 상식은요. 차량 침수 위험 시 행동 사항에 대해 알아보도록 하겠습니다.
Good evening. This is Laura McCluskey from IOB. In recent times, we have seen a lot of flooding accidents in the news, so we've invited expert Minsu Shin to find out how to follow safety measures.
Yes.
Minsu, tell
so
us.
filling in as the safety expert of the day, I'll be letting you know on some important need-to-know things, especially with the heavy rain.
Absolutely. So first of all, Minsu, how about driving in heavy rain?
All right, you must remember, turn on your headlights. The highway code says that you must use them when visibility is seriously reduced. So if you cannot see less than 100 meters in front of you or behind you, headlights is a must.
Absolutely. I do that every day. What's next?
Leave twice as much space between you and the car in front of you, right? On the highway, you see, I believe it's 100 meters that you should put between cars. Double that, make that 200, because it does take longer for you to brake and come to a stop when the roads are wet.
Absolutely. Great advice. And how about in areas that are experiencing flooding or in standing water?
Well, you shouldn't be driving in flooded areas that's more than 10 centimeters. You can think of it as if the water kind of comes up to more than 2/3 of your wheels. In that situation, though, if you are driving, drive slowly and steadily so you don't make a bow wave in the waters.
Okay, all good information. We do have more questions because of the torrential rain these days. Are you going to stick around?
Yes, I'll be around to fill our listeners in.
I don't think we make very good newscasters.
Well, I'm going to take off my newscaster hat now and just be regular old DJ.
Regular old Minsu.
Yes. You do quite well as a newscaster. I don't know what it is.
If I'm doing it over, I can do it, but I didn't want to do it over.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like under.
Yeah. Well, thank you for always being under. Nah. So as you have heard and as you know, heavy rainfall, right, for this monsoon season, I think record-breaking in some instances. We have instances of, tragic loss of lives around the country. So authorities have begun investigation into the cause of the tunnel flooding that Annie has filled us in on, and it led to the loss of lives of 14 people, right?
Yeah.
So safety measures that we should be following when driving on flooded roads or maybe through a tunnel, what are some need-to-know things?
Okay, so let me put my emergency disaster hat on.
Yes.
When you're driving, you got to think about this. Is your car in danger of flooding? Drive to a safe place before the tire sinks more than 2/3. And also, and I always think about this, is this the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do? But you should open the windows or a sunroof in advance to reduce the gap of water pressure of the inside and the outside of the car.
Yeah.
So that you can open the door for an emergency. However, if the water rises beyond 2/3 of the tire's height, abandon your vehicle, evacuate to a safe place immediately.
Yeah, I think I saw a video of a guy that was trapped in kind of like a flooded area, and he was kind of planning his route if he should need to evacuate, and he opened his sunroof, right? And everybody's saying that's probably the most proper thing to do, right? If you do have a sunroof.
Yeah.
Then let's say, it got to a situation where it's already flooded and you're in your car. What do you need to do?
Okay, so if your car is already flooded, first thing to do, again, if you see that you are getting in any kind of danger of flooding, open the windows in advance, okay? Again, to reduce the gap of water pressure from the inside and outside of the car so that you can open the doors. If your windows are closed, wait until the water pressure of inside and outside of the car is reduced, probably around 30 centimeters, and then you can escape. The doors can be opened with a little bit of strength. Maybe if you think, I don't know, 초등학생, could open this door. But in that situation, you're going to be stressed, panicking, etc. It is possible to get out, but how do you know about the water pressure? It's very difficult. Very difficult. So I would say in these instances, try and make sure your windows or your sunroof are open when you see the potential for your car getting flooded
네.
or you're going in flooded areas.
Good to know. 네, 침수된 차에 갇혔다면 기억하세요. 차량 내부와 바깥의 수위 차이가 30cm 이하일 문이 이하일 때 문이 쉽게 열리므로 그때 신속하게 탈출하시기 바랍니다. 오늘의 5분 상식이었습니다. 김대리, 퇴근하나?
예, 부장님.
집이 괴종이지? 같은 방향인데 같이 가지? 요즘 회사 생활 어떤가?
예, 저 열심히 잘하고 있습니다.
결혼 생활도 재밌지?
예, 뭐 즐겁죠, 예. 저 그 라디오라도 좀.
그래 라디오.
네가 저번 주 신참인 것 같네.
22번 홀림병.
진짜 회사 생활 쉽지 않다. 어색한 이 순간 인사이드아웃 부산과 함께하세요. 오늘은
TMI Busan.
It's TMI Busan. Haley's in the studio. Hi, Haley.
Hello.
Hi,
Good
Miss
evening, everyone.
TMI. Hello, how are you doing?
Doing well. Doing dry.
When we were doing the update on the weather, you were doing various hand motions to let us know that it was.
This much.
Yeah.
This much rain.
Yeah.
I stepped outside.
Downpour.
Well, this was already half an hour ago.
I feel like that's like a universal, like everybody will understand.
Yeah.
If somebody were to ask how much is it raining and you do this, I was like,
Yeah.
Downpour.
That much.
Torrential.
On our YouTube, Hani Neem saying downpouring is heavier nationally. How about Busan? Yeah.
Yeah. Busan is definitely
pretty wet.
in that club.
pretty much assume. So, Hanim, not from Busan, I guess. we assume, right? Well, thank you for tuning in from wherever you are. All right, so Miss TMI, what too much information do you have for us today?
All right, this is very important information, and we do have to get serious because I'm going to be talking about the missing women from the Hakjangcheon stream. I'm sure you guys have talked about it. This is day 8 of her having gone missing. The authorities are still looking for her, the woman in her 60s. They have dispatched, as of today, 287 firefighters, police officers, Coast Guard, and military personnel. And they've actually expanded the search perimeter to Gadokdo, which is about 19 kilometers away because of the currents. She may have been swept off all the way there. But while this is going on, and we're definitely hoping that she gets found soon, I do want to focus on the circumstances around this accident and whether the officials may have done the proper thing to block access in time. And of course, this is kind of the blame game sort of is going on with the Osong underpass, but it's a little bit going on here as well. So if you think about the day that she went missing, which was, I believe, last Tuesday, this heavy concentrated rain last Monday, excuse me, the heavy concentrated rain came down around 3 p.m. And almost immediately, a lot of the underpasses and flood-prone roads were blocked off for safety. However, Hakjangcheon, which is the stream that cuts through Sasang district, it actually wasn't shut down until 3:52 p.m. So that's about 50 minutes. So during this time, it's not just her. A man in his 70s was actually stranded on the stream at 3:24. 2 women in their 60s, actually, they were swept by the rapids some 10 minutes later, and one of them was the woman. So the district office didn't actually shut down the trails until about 20 minutes after these incidents took place. So when they finally did, the water level was at 2.13 meters, so way above any adult even. So Sasang district office explained that they received a delayed report about the weather conditions. But then, given other districts that have similar streams, like for instance the Chuncheon stream in Haeundae and Oncheoncheon stream in Kumjeonggu, they all shut down their walking trails before the rain came. So the delayed report may not quite be a satisfactory explanation. So, and then this leads to a potential issue in the larger system that there is no unified central control system that basically
I don't know, pushes a button, makes one call, and all the walking trails are shut down immediately. I mean, I do get, even in our one city of Busan, we do have different precipitation levels here and there, but water can flood instantly and tragedies can happen in a blink of an eye. So yeah, officials kind of do have to rely on the situation, what it looks like, to their naked eye. There's really no standard as to when things are supposed to be shut down.
Yeah, like you said, from district to district, systems are different, right? Some districts have very, systems where you would press a button, the gates would go down, right? Or like lights would be flashing. And then there's districts where some places are very manual, like somebody has to actually get out there to put up signs, saying
it
to block it
depends on the
off.
infrastructure of the area as well. I think you and I were talking about this, Minsu, the other day. Round here in Centum, they have the 침수주의. It's like this underpass is closed, 진입 금지. But it's on a sign, but people still going in.
Right. Of course, absolutely. Average citizens, we have to do our job to just common sense, not going near any body of water if it's raining. And we talked about cars flooding. If it's torrential downpour, it's actually, for me, I believe it's safer to just take public transportation and not drive. So use your own judgment, use your best judgment. However, systems are supposed to be there to protect people in their lapses of judgment.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because I think it's such a tragic situation, and so I guess it just adds salt to the wound to be playing that blame game. Who's at fault here? Because we just need it fixed.
Right.
It needs to be fixed.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the update, right? We do hope that, the missing woman can be found. I know a lot of efforts are being made by the city and authorities. What's next, Haley?
All right. So next is the living wage in Busan. And actually, this case goes all the way up to the Supreme Court. So earlier this week, the Supreme Court made a ruling that could pave the way for Busan City to apply living wages in the private sector. So what living wages are to begin with? So we know what the minimum wage is. So that's 9,620 at this point. Well, people do. Doesn't mean that they can comfortably or should. It's hard to live on the minimum wage. It is literally minimum. So what the living wage is, it calculates how much a worker actually needs to be making in order to make a decent living. To be able to not only make ends meet the necessities, but still be able to enjoy some, modicum of a life. So the living wage in Busan City, it is 11,074 won per hour. So, back last year, Busan City Council passed an ordinance that would enforce private businesses that have contracts with Busan City to pay their employees living wages. So then Busan City kind of raised objections to this, saying that it goes against the law, their interpretation of the law to enforce private businesses to make such calls. And this is actually the mayor's call. After a very lengthy court battle going all the way up to the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court actually sided with the City Council that this ordinance that they passed, it tries to guarantee the workers' basic livelihoods, and therefore it suits the intent behind the relevant laws. So not official changes quite yet, but with this ruling, we are likely to see the living wage system expanded across different sectors in the city.
Yeah. Living wage.
I think, we live in the same society, right? When it comes to things like just getting through the day and like the money you need, it's very similar, across the board for a lot of people. I want to say for most, but then, the wages and the living standard stays the same. Living standards stay the same, but like if the wages don't meet up to those living standards for some people, it's even like a day is difficult to get by, right? So with this, having the living wage system be expanded, like you said, across different sectors in the city, hopefully it kind of relieves the burden for a lot of people,
Right,
who are
right.
worried about
Sure,
making
we've
it.
all been there, living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, for sure.
Tough.
Yeah,
Really tough.
Good to know. Move on to our next bit of news.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the rain a little bit more, but the toll that they're taking on Busan's beaches. Of course, minor issue. I mean, there are literally issues of life and death out there,
Yeah.
but the number of visitors to Busan's beaches naturally, as they should, decreased considerably on account of the rain. So there's been a decrease of about 1 million people who came to the 7 beaches of Busan since they opened on July 1st. So we're now on day 18 of beach season.
Yeah.
So for instance, at Haeundae Beach, over 933,000 people visited during the first 15 days of last year. That number dropped to 629,000 this year. Same picture in Gwangalli, going down from the 845,000 last year to 611,000 this year in the same period. So between July 1st and the 15th, there were over 10 days of rain. And I barely remember any sunny days, so it's been cloudy skies and relatively cooler temperatures. It hasn't been fully beach temperature quite yet, which I believe is, 30. And above. It's been 25 has been kind of the average daytime high.
Yeah.
So people less likely to go into the water. Of course, absolutely when it's raining, once again, cannot emphasize this enough, don't go near water, let alone swim on a beach, at a beach. But the climate pattern is really concerning, especially for businesses who do count on this one season to make the bulk of their earnings for the entire year.
Yeah. I had somebody tell me the other day, when was the last time you saw the sun? Or remember seeing the sun?
It was Andrew.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yesterday,
Oh, it was
yeah.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Yesterday, right? Well, there goes my memory.
Somebody.
So, but yeah, I mean, and we feel it, not only when it comes to just, our daily lives, but people around the beach, have businesses around the beach. So that's the toll it has taken, right? Any other thing you want to add on top of that?
Right. So finally, flood damage insurance, which everyone's ears are perking. So according to Busan City, 57,000 households, they signed up for wind and flood damage insurance, and that's as of April this year. Most of them are for homes. So Minister of Interior and Safety, after Hinnamnor and all the climate change, they actually designated these safety areas that are in need of these flood and wind insurance nationwide. There are 94,000 homes that fall into this category. But the thing is, the insurance rate in Busan is actually significantly higher than in other cities. And I applaud the city for doing this because Busan City pays more for the city coverage. So it lessens the burden on private households. So Busan actually covers, once again, higher percentage. On the national level, the central government pays for a little bit over half of the insurance coverage. Local governments pay 13.5%. But Busan City, because we are the city of oceans and seas, thus prone to flooding, raised their coverage to 30%. So average citizens, they only have to pay a little under 20%. So people are definitely signing up more. You can't just sign up. Not everyone can sign up. You have to be within one of the 94,000 households that are in flood or wind damage vulnerable areas.
Yeah.
You can check this information and also sign up via your Upmyeon or Dong level community center.
Yeah. That's something a lot of people are now going to consider, when maybe looking for a house or thinking about moving into a neighborhood. Is it flood prone?
Right.
Right?
I mean, they're changing experts are considering changing what we call rain season in Korea from 장마, which is long rain, to 우기, rain season, which is more common in Southeast Asia because we're seeing these, the dumps of water coming down in short bursts of time, what they call gorilla type heavy rain.
Yeah.
And then it's coming in bouts and taking breaks and then bouts and taking breaks. So we're definitely going to need to be more, flood proof.
Definitely. All right. Well, lots of TMI today. Haley, thank you so much for getting us up to speed on just what's been going on here in Busan City. Stay safe, stay dry. We'll see you back here next week.
I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Haley.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. It's time for us to say goodbye for the first half of the show. And look at this. Minsu, what's up for the final song?
NSYNC's I Drive Myself Crazy.
See you at 7.
Lying in your arms, so close together, didn't know just what so bad. Where was my head? Where was my heart? Now I cry alone in the dark. I lie awake, I drive myself crazy, drive myself crazy, thinking of you. Made a mistake when I let you go, baby. I drive myself crazy, wanting you the way that I do, wanting you the way that I do. I was such a fool, I couldn't see it, just how good you were to me. Oh yeah, you confessed your love, undying devotion. I confess my need to be free, and now I'm left with all this pain. I've only got myself to blame. No, I drive myself crazy. Oh yeah, drive myself crazy, thinking of you.
BFM is having a mid-season special revamp. We've prepared more diverse, informative, and fun content, so don't miss out and stay tuned. Get ready to rev up your mornings from Monday to Friday, 9 to 10, with our brand new music show, The Boombox. You can join us from noon to 2 p.m. for your favorite K-pop hits at K-pop Fiesta, airing Monday to Saturday. And every Tuesday through Saturday, Morning Groove will keep you company from 1 to 3 a.m. BFM appreciates your continued love and support as we strive to bring you the most entertaining and informative programming. You can visit bfm.or.kr for more details.
안녕하세요. 전국민 안전 캠페인 홍보대사 오나라입니다. 서두르다가 안전사고 겪은 분들 많죠? 그래서 빨리빨리 하기 전에 5초만 안전습관 캠페인을 시작합니다. 에스컬레이터로 뛰어들기 전에 5초만, 멈춘 후에 손잡이 꼭 잡고 타기, 슬금슬금 우회전하기 전에 5초만, 확실히 멈추고 주의 살피기, 이륜차 타기 전에 5초만, 헬멧 확인하고 출발하기. 빨리빨리 하기 전에 5초만 멈추면 모두의 안전이 계속됩니다. 다 함께 시작해볼까요? 나부터 5초만. 5초만, 5초만. 공익광고협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다. 로라 민수의 인싸의학 부산.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. 7 o'clock on the dot. It is Tuesday, the 18th of July. Thank you for joining us here at Inside Out Busan. I'm Laura McCluskey.
And I'm Min-Soo Shin. Thank you so much for just hanging out with us.
Yeah.
We had a follow-up message that came in from Haninim. Haninim says, I used to come by here every now and then.
Yeah.
Well, Haninim, thank you for coming today.
Yeah.
You have a question. 30cm 이하일 때라고 하셨는데 이럴 때면 차 높이가 1m 50이고 수위가 한 1m 23cm일 때도 쉽게 열리나요? So I think we explained it. 30 centimeters when it comes up, that takes up 2/3 of your wheel, right? For most cars, I think, yeah, that would, if you have a sedan,
Yeah.
if you have a sedan, that would come up to like the bottom of your car.
Yeah.
그럴 때 그래도 원래보다 조금 더 힘 써서 문을 열어야 될 것 같아요. But let's say you have an SUV, right? That's a little more lifted, right, compared to sedans. Then you probably still maybe have like a little bit of time. But once again, it depends on the car and it depends on the situation, right? Is the water like flooding in, right? So, 한이님, yeah, I think it's good to just try to like think of different situations, right, that you could get into. But yeah, good to know. Or
Plan for the worst,
yes.
but expect the best.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for your message. We are going to move on to On the Mic.
Yes, indeed. This is the part of the show where our reporters head out into the world and interview you, our citizens. So let's see who's on the mic today.
안녕하세요, 제니입니다. 정말 무더운 요즘이죠. 핫한 여름이 돌아왔습니다. 무더운 날씨에 옷차림도 가벼워지고 휴가철이기도 하다 보니 몸을 가꾸시는 분들이 굉장히 많아지고 있는데요. 오늘은 많은 분들의 핫바디 그리고 건강한 다이어트에 도움을 주고 계신 헬스 트레이너 이현우 선생님 모셔보았습니다. 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요. 5년차 트레이너 이현우라고 합니다.
네, 반갑습니다. 일단은 어떻게 해서 헬스 트레이너라는 직업을 갖게 되셨는지 궁금한데 어떻게 이 직업을 시작하게 되셨나요?
처음에 운동을 한 계기는 군대에서 운동을 시작했고요. 거기서 좀 좀 제대로 몸을 만들어 보고 싶다 해서 욕심이 생겨서 이제 사촌 형아가 트레이너 일을 하고 있어서 조금 배워볼 수 있을까요? 이제 해가지고 이제 그렇게 시작하게 됐습니다.
아, 또 사촌 형님분과 연이 되어서 시작을 하게 되신 계기군요. 그렇다면 트레이너 일을 하시면서 가장 기억에 남는 회원님이 있으실까요?
일단은 많은 회원님들을 지도를 했지만 제일 기억에 남는 회원님은 부부 회원님이었는데요. 처음에는 남성 회원님이 이제 간이 안 좋아서 다이어트 겸 찾아오셨고 이제 그분 또 운동을 하다 보니 욕심이 생겨서 열심히 하셨는데 이제 그분이랑 이제 그분의 이제 아내분이 같이 오셔서 두 분이서 이제 바디 프로필을 준비하셨어요. 그래가지고 컨셉이 살짝 리마인드 웨딩이라고 해서 다시 살짝 결혼식을 보는 것 같은 느낌인데 몸을 진짜 너무 이쁘게 잘 만들어서 두 분 다 그분들이 제일 기억에 남고 아직도 연락하고 잘 지내고 있습니다.
야, 정말 멋있는 분들이시네요. 사실 어떻게 보면 그 회원님들에게도 굉장히 좋은 추억으로 남겠지만 우리 트레이너님에게도 굉장히 오랜 추억으로 간직될 수 있는 그런 일이 아니었나 싶은데요. 그렇다면 또 최근에 바디 프로필이 전 국민 사이에서 굉장히 핫한 이슈가 되고 있죠. 트레이너님께서는 이런 현상에 대해서 어떻게 생각하시나요?
우선 바디 프로필 준비하시는 분들의 어떤 그런 열정이나 목표의식 같은 거는 되게 제가 엄청 높이 사고 응원하고 있고요. 왜냐면 본업과 운동을 병행한다는 게 쉽진 않다고 생각하기 때문에 그 자체는 되게 멋있다고 생각해요, 일반 분들이. 근데 이제 바디 프로필을 준비하는 과정에서 너무 겉에서 보이는 몸만 신경 쓰다 보니 정작 진짜 그 회원님들이 고쳐야 되는 어떤 습관이나 어떤 체형에 대한 균형 그리고 근육에 대한 기능이 많이 죽어 있는데 그런 것들을 조금 많이 못 챙기고 이제 바디 프로필만 준비하다 보니 실질적으로 안으로 들어갔을 때는 건강이 안 좋다 생각하거든요. 그래서 그런 바디 프로필을 만약에 준비한다면 좀 기간을 오래 잡고 몸에 대한 개선과 바디 프로필과 이제 같이 좀 가면은 좋지 않을까라고 생각합니다.
네, 좋습니다. 그렇다면 이제 트레이너로서 앞으로의 목표와 포부가 무엇인지 알고 싶습니다.
네, 제 궁극적인 포부와 목표는 다른 트레이너님들도 마찬가지겠지만 제 센터를 하나 차려서 거기서 정말 제가 목표로 하는 어떤 제 니즈에 맞고 그 회원님들의 니즈에 맞는 그런 방향성을 가지고 지도할 수 있는 그런 센터를 차려서 건강함을 좀 줄 수 있는 그런 센터를 차리고 싶습니다.
좋습니다. 이렇게 해서 센터를 차리는 것까지 완벽하게 이루어내실 수 있기를 바라고요. 그렇다면 이제 저희의 마지막 질문인데요. 청취자분들의 건강한 다이어트를 위해 또 한 말씀 부탁드립니다.
일단은 건강한 다이어트를 하려면 무조건 식단이 필요한데 영양에 대한 정보를 잘 모르고 조금 옛날 방식으로 이제 고구마 닭가슴살이면은 그게 좋은 식단이고 다이어트라고 생각하시는데 뭐 육류부터 생선, 잡곡에서도 단백질을 얻을 수 있고요. 좀 다양하게 그런 영양적인 부분들을 챙길 수 있으니 좀 다양한 것들을 이용해서 식단을 하면은 조금 더 건강한 다이어트가 되지 않을까 생각합니다.
네, 좋습니다. 이렇게 해서 오늘 이현우 선생님 모시고 인터뷰 진행해 보았는데요. 우리 청취자분들께서도 꾸준한 운동과 건강 관리로 웰빙 라이프를 즐기시길 바라겠습니다. 오늘 함께 해주셔서 감사합니다.
네, 감사합니다.
Oh, thank you so much to our lovely reporter Jenny, who's always so upbeat and happy when she speaks to our guests.
네.
And to Lee Yeon-ho-nim, a fitness trainer who got into working out actually when he was in the army, and it just kind of became his passion. But do you know what? I noticed that about Korean young men when they go from being pre-army and then after the army, they change so much.
Yeah.
So much.
왜냐면 사실 like off hours 그거밖에 없어요. There's nothing to do after your duties. After you get off work at the army. So I mean that I would say that is the better and healthier choice, right? To start exercising in the army. Now, of course, as a fitness trainer, PT, as they call it here in Korea, he helps many people, get in shape, especially. Profile pictures are a big thing here in Korea, right? Body profile pictures
바프.
specifically. 네, is that what they call it these days?
올해 바프 하기로 했어요.
오, 진짜요?
By the end of the year.
By the end of the year.
My mission
yeah.
is not going well.
네, not going well. Everybody's like, oh, it's not going well. I don't think I could do it. But they always end up doing it at the end, and they come out really good. Yeah, so
That's what
you have nothing to
Photoshop
worry
will do
about.
for you.
Yeah, you have. The odds on your side.
Great. Thank you.
But Iononim specifically, he helps people. He specifically recalled this couple who always worked out together with him, right? Now, isn't that nice to see? To have like a couple, whether it be husband or wife or boyfriend and girlfriend, kind of exercise together. I think that's good for the relationship. No?
Would you do PT with your wife?
I don't know if I would do PT with my wife. Not PT, but I go hiking with her, right? I go not for just, a stroll, but like a full on, all right, we're going to walk for a long time. Have a set goal in mind. 나 같이 하니까 좋았어요. You have a person to talk to. If I were to do that by myself, I probably would have given up, I don't know, halfway, 3/4 into it. But now that you're doing it with a person, 조금 서로 으쌰으쌰 하면서 하는 게 큰 도움 되는 것 같아요.
I used to work out with my husband. I used to like it. We'd go to the same gym and then he would do his stuff and I would do my stuff. So it wasn't really together. But I would just 장난 him a lot. Because he would wrap the towel around his head like a little bandana. I was like, what are you doing, brah? And I'm like, bench me, brah.
남편분은 엄청 막 멋있게 막 하려고 그러는데
맞아요. 남편은
킥킥킥 웃으면
자기야.
분위기 킬러다. 분위기 킬러.
Annoying.
Yeah. 사실 my wife goes to a gym and I was thinking about it. She was like, no, go to another gym.
See, I want to work out with my husband, but I don't think he wants to work out with me. He needs like a bro gym buddy.
Like vice versa, but same with my wife, the other way around, right? But specifically, Lee Hyun-nim, he mentioned, as a PT fitness trainer, his goal is to get his own gym. I think that's a dream for a lot of personal trainers that they work in, for another gym. They want to set up their own shop, their own business, right? Because he has the health of people in mind.
I love that he was talking about, the Bapu trend is really good, the body profile trend is really good, but it's really more important. It's overshadowed, the health aspect is overshadowed by the aesthetic aspect. So he wants to emphasize that making sure you're growing your muscles, you're caring for your muscles, you're looking after your health. That's the more important part of the body profile, not just what you look like. Because, you know, looks fade, aesthetic fades, but muscles are the body's insurance policy, right? Good health is wealth for your body and for your future. Do you concur, Minsu?
I completely agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. But he said that he wants to just stress to all his clients and basically everybody that healthy diet is very important. It's not about sticking to, you know, chicken breasts, sweet potatoes, veggies, but diversify your food choices, exercise regularly, and enjoy your life. And as Dr. Ryu would say, eat well, sleep well, poop well.
Poop well, right?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. For listeners, free consultation from a professional fitness trainer right there, right? Sometimes you got to pay money to get that
And yet,
sentence out of a lot
we
of people.
got it for free.
There you go.
Nice.
감사합니다. That was today's On the Mic.
Indeed. All right. What do we have lined up for a song, Minsu?
So hopefully, you know, 우리 이현우님 got our listeners maybe inspired to start working out again, to exercise. This is the Black Eyed Peas. Let's get it started.
Let's get it started in here.
And the bass keeps running, running, and 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 running, running, and
in this context, there's no disrespect. So when I bust my rhyme, you break your necks. We got 5 minutes for us to disconnect from all intellect and let the rhythm affect. To lose the inhibition, follow your intuition, free your inner soul and break away from tradition. Cause when we be out, girl, it's pulling me out. You wouldn't believe how we wow. We burn it till it's burned out, turn it till it's turned out. Act up from northwest, east side.
everybody, everybody, let's get into it. Get stoned, get it started, get it started, get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Yeah.
Lose control, our body and soul. Don't move too fast, people just take it slow. Don't get ahead, just jump into it. Y'all hear about it? The P's will do it. Get started, get stupid. Don't worry about it, people will walk you through it step by step like an infant new kid. Inch by inch with a new solution. Transmit hits with no delusion. The feeling's irresistible and that's how we move it.
Everybody, everybody, let's get into it. Get stoned, get it started, get it started, get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Yeah.
keep running, running, and running, running.
Come on, y'all.
Let's get cool. Let's get cool. And while I get cool. Let's get cool. And while I get cool. Let's get cool. And here.
Let's get ill, that's the deal. At the gator, we'll bring the bug dot drill. Just lose your mind, this is the time. You can't stand still, twist and bang your spine. Just bob your head like me, Apple D. Up inside your club or in your Bentley. Get messy, loud and sick. Your mind fast, no more on another head trip. So come them now, do not correct it. Let's get ignorant, let's get hectic.
Everybody, everybody, let's get into it. Get stoned, get it started, get it started, get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
And running, running, and running, running, and running, running.
And running. Oh, they stopped.
Yeah.
Oh.
Black Eyed Peas. I haven't heard that song in a while. Let's get it started.
Let's get it started. Black Eyed Peas. I've not heard Black Eyed Peas for a while.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Not just that song.
Are they even still around?
Somewhere.
Nah.
Do you know what I like about you being in the driver's seat?
What?
Well, the music choices, for one.
Saying you?
Many other things too. But first of all, the music choices.
Nah.
Because the music choices are always top notch.
Well, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very
Vincent.
much.
You're welcome.
네.
It is Inside Out Busan. You are tuned in on 90.5 and 103.3 FM. Welcome to BEFM. 부산영어방송입니다. 반갑습니다.
반갑습니다.
You might also be tuned in on our YouTube. Hello, if you are tuned in over there. Search for BEFM or again 부산영어방송 on your YouTube channel.
네.
And you can go and see our faces. Dr. Liu will be with us on the screen in just a few. In a few, it's Dr. Liu.
In a few, it's Dr. Liu. But you do have to wait for that few.
Because
right?
I'm going to tell you about the weather.
Yeah.
You like my rhyming? Not so
A little
much?
bit. I think
Not so much?
well, you're not overdoing it yet.
Okay, I should
But
stop
I feel
now,
like you
right?
get to a point where you're too Dr. Susie.
I'll stop it now.
Yeah.
Lest I fall out of favor with you. Let's look at the weather and the traffic. So currently it's 27 degrees Celsius on average here in Busan. Morning lows of 24, afternoon highs of 26. There is heavy rain and strong wind advisories going on in Busan. Rain along with wind is expected in various areas tonight. Busan will also be cloudy tomorrow and there will be showers in some places. However, it's set to taper off towards the end of the day. 오늘 밤은 강한 비와 바람이 예상됩니다. 내일 부산은 종일 흐리고 소나기가 오겠습니다. 그래서 여러분 계속 조심하게 다니면 됩니다.
네. We actually had a message that came in about the weather specifically in this Hummun area from 1191님, but this was during the first half. We do apologize we couldn't get to it. But around the first hour, 1191님 said, 저 지금 서면에 있는데 비가 잠시 그쳤대요. 네, 근데 세상이 너무 깨끗해요. So a little break in the rain that people in 서면 saw, right? How nice that must have been.
JB님 on the YouTube comments saying heavy in Cheongwon.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like it picked back up in a lot of places. Yeah. Here in the Centum area, I don't think I even need to look out the window.
Yeah, super rainy.
It's pouring.
So please, if you don't have to go outside, please don't go outside. Did you know what I noticed? Sorry, I know you need to do the traffic. But
No, it's
today
okay.
I was watching
Barge in
the
my
news.
time. Yes.
Well, you know that I like to do that. I was watching the news and it was talking about, actually, it wasn't news. It was a TV show about this panel that meet experts in something.
Yeah.
And so the expert comes in and gives them all kind of like a special lecture about XYZ. And it was about Tijin, but it was also about weather. And one thing I thought was wonderful is that all of this like emergency information, they had, of course, they were talking about it in Korean, but then they had it down the bottom in English as well. And they were running like, this is what you do in an emergency. This is what you do if there is Tijin, an earthquake. This is what you do if there's a flood. And they were running this kind of, I guess, tamak. It wasn't tamak, but almost like, like advisory in English as well.
Yeah. I think various TV channel cable providers, they were like just running all the news all over the place. So, yeah, I've never seen it like this.
But yeah, I know, right? But also in English as well. And I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Korean and
Nice.
English. Love it.
Well, when it comes to traffic, congestion on 중앙대로 from Busan City Hall going towards Yeonsan Junction. There's also congestion on Puam Overpass from Jinyang Junction going towards Yeonji three-way intersection. And then we have slow-moving traffic on Gayadero from Judae Junction going towards Naengjeong Station. Everybody,
Drive safe.
부탁드릴게요. 네.
All right. Let's keep this party started. Going.
Yes.
By the Black Eyed Peas. It's time for Dr. Liu. Dr. Liu의 인싸의학.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
반갑습니다. 오늘은 정말 바빠서 빨리빨리 해야 될 것 같아요.
Right to business.
천천히 합시다. 천천히 합시다.
Very unlike you, Dr. Liu.
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
Notice anything change in my outfit.
Look at that. Look at you're wearing your doctor's clothes. You
Yeah.
see how he prompted me to talk about his doctor's clothes.
I know.
You're wearing your doctor's jacket, Dr. Liu. Is there
Dr.
any
Liu.
reason?
Yes, that's right.
Let me get you on full screen here on our YouTube because now listeners can see just how 멋있어 you are.
Oh, thank you.
In your doctor's coat.
I'm a real doctor. Yes, 왜냐면
It's true. He has a doctor's coat to prove it.
the other day I met one of our listeners and then he said that.
Oh, really?
Well, he listens to this show and then he never thought it would be me, the doctor, real doctor. Well, he said like he was like, wow, he sounds like professional. Is he a doctor? Wow, he's knowledge when it comes to medical fields, he's quite
good. It's all right. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Actually, he's a doctor.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to kind of 어떻게 하지? 한 번 더 확인한다는 거. 더
Reiterate.
Reiterate. I want to reiterate that I'm a real doctor.
Yes, he is.
He's not only a real doctor here in Korea, but also medically allowed to practice in the US.
Yes, that's right. 예, 그렇죠. It was a long time ago, but I decided to stay here in Korea.
Yeah.
I'm really happy being a Korean and doing this show and delivering, sharing my kind of the knowledge. And then when it comes to the field of medicine,
of course,
and I want to improve our listeners, our health, and be happy and happy poop, happy sleep, and happy eating. Okay,
맞습니다.
네, let's get down to the business.
Yeah, because today is pretty important topic as well, right? You always bring important topics, but this is we need as much time as possible to cover this. You mean, right?
Yeah, 맞아요. The other day I was searching through the YouTube channel and I was really infuriated because a lot of very provocative titles that caught my eyes. 이런 것들이 많더라고요. 고지혈증 뭐 사기극 뭐 스타틴 내가 너를 구원하리라. 뭐 희대의 사기극 난 네가 한 짓을 알고 있다. 의사가 알려드립니다. 그러면서 이거 의사들이 만들었더라고요. 그래서 I was really frustrated because those YouTube channels contain very not evidence-based information. 하지만 it's run by doctors. 그래서 정말 이거는 정말 마음이 너무나 안 좋아서 오늘에 대해서 하나 골랐는데 스타틴이라는 약이 있습니다. 고지혈증 치료제로서 이게 hot potato예요. It's not only here in Korea but also in the States. I call this title that's done by a doctor, U.S. doctor. We are treating wrong. Statin might kill you. 그래서 이런 것에 대해서 한번 해보려고요. 그래서 콜레스테롤에 대해서 한번 해보려고 왔습니다. 콜레스테롤 들어봤어요?
Cholesterol, yes, of course.
Yeah, if you're over 40, if you get your physical done, 우리나라는 40세가 넘으면은 나라에서 공짜로 검진을 해주거든요.
네.
그러면은 고지혈증 나오고 뭐 심혈관도 위험도가 높습니다. You're at risk of getting heart stroke or heart attack. 근데 그거 건강 검진의 목적은 첫째는 screening이에요. screening. Screening is supposed to be very sensitive. 그래서 경각심을 일으키기 위해서 여러분들한테 워닝을 주는 거예요. 그래서 항상 조금이라도 이상이 있으면은 스트로크의 위험이 있다. 아니면은 하트어택의 위험이 있다. 그렇게 해서 경각심을 주는 거죠. 그런 가운데 이제 환자들이 이제 제가 오는 경우에 어떤 경우가 오냐면은 이 건강 검진에서 고지혈증이 나왔습니다. 약을 먹어야 됩니까? 말아야 됩니까? 그렇게 오는데 사실 고지혈증이라는 말이 조금 약간 틀린 말일 수 있어요. 왜냐면은 우리 몸에는 좋은 콜레스테롤도 있고 나쁜 콜레스테롤도 있고 근데 콜레스테롤 말을 갖다가 나쁘다 좋다 이렇게 there is no black and like a cut and dry when it comes to treating medical patients. 왜냐면은 제가 환자를 보면 볼수록 for the past 20 years as a practitioner, I think seeing patients is like an art because everybody has their own genetic personality and genetic identity, and also same disease but different manifestation, but same manifestation but different disease 이런 거거든요. 그래서 항상 고지혈증이란 말보다는 이상지질혈증이라고 얘기를 해야 돼요. 왜 그러냐면 콜레스테롤이 좋은 점도 많거든요. You know, cholesterol. The other day I was talking about vitamin D. Vitamin D is from cholesterol, and our sex hormone, testosterone, estrogen, and some other sex hormones are from cholesterol. And our brain, the main components of brain, is lipid, cholesterol. 이 콜레스테롤. 그다음 콜레스테롤의 역할이 또 우리의 에너지를 갖다가 트랜스포트 해주는 그런 거거든요. 중성지방도 있죠. 여기 DB님께서 말씀하셨는데 이런 거 HDL, LDL 맞아요. 비율이 중요한 건데요. 우리 지금 하고 있는 LDL, HDL, 뭐 TG 콜레스테롤 이런 것들은 테스트는 it's quite outdated. Actually, it's out of date, antiquated because when we look deeper into the LDL components. We can divide into several categories of lipids. Very low density lipoprotein or some other apolipoprotein, some other lipid particles. 왜냐하면 이 LDL이나 이런 이 양보다는 파티클 사이즈가 중요한 거예요. particle size. 우리 LDL, HDL 보게 되면 단위가 밀리그램 per 데실리터거든요. 밀리그램 per 데실리터. 그때 예를 들어서 10kg의 아령이 10 kilograms of dumbbell. If there are 10 kilograms of dumbbell, 10 of them it weighs about 100 kilograms, right? If you have 1 kilogram of a dumbbell, if you have 100 of them, it's 100 kilograms. The amount, the weight is the same thing, but the particle 는 다르죠. 파티클 하나는 100개의 파티클이 있는 거고 100개 하나는 10kg의 덤벨이 10개가 있는 거죠. 예.
네.
그러면 100개하고 10개하고 파티클이 다른데 이 파티클이 이제 나쁜 파티클이 이제 문제를 일으키는 거거든요. 예. 그러면 어떤 경우에 이 나쁜 파티클이 되냐면은 LDL이 이게 oxidative stress, 즉 스트레스를 받게 되면은 이게 나쁜 파티클이 돼가지고 이게 혈관에 딱딱딱 박혀가지고 혈관을 막히게 하거든요. 그럼 혈관을 막히게 하게 하는 거는 LDL 숫자 양보다는 LDL quality, it's a matter of quality, not a matter of quantity거든요. 예. 그럼 어떤 사람들이 이렇게 다 열로 가느냐? 당뇨가 있는 사람들, 아니면 다 pre-diabetic, or obesity 한 사람들. 그 다음에 또 여러 가지 또 있어요. inflammation도 있어요. inflammation. 뭐 microbiome. 그 똥을 잘 싸야 된다는 게 똥을 잘 싸는 것 자체가 똥을 못 싸게 되면 인플라메이션이 올라가서 그런 거고 또 이빨에도 염증이 있으면 또 여러분 아실지 모르겠지만 if you have a gingivitis or some other inflammation in your teeth, you might end up having heart attack. 이게 열로 갈 수도 있거든요. 예. 그래서
So inflammation in other parts of your body can even lead to that because of
맞아요. 그렇습니다. 네네. 그래서 LDL에 대한 그 수치도 중요하지만 수치보다는 그 퀄리티가 중요하고 여기 우리 얘기하는 것처럼 레이쇼가 중요해요. 그래서 트리글리세라이드 중성지방 그다음에 HDL 레이쇼가 또 중요한 거죠. 제가 말씀드리고자 하는 거는 LDL 콜레스테롤, HDL 콜레스테롤 고지혈증이라는 말을 쓰는 것보다는 이상 지지혈증이라는 걸 쓰는 게 중요하고 그다음에 약을 쓸 때에 스타틴이라는 약이 있는데 why our doctors are so obsessed with the statin is well, the statin works really on our body, lowering our cholesterol level. But it has several side effects. But 하지만 사람들은 부작용이 더 이게 초점이 많이 가거든요. 나쁜 생각이나 나쁜 게 우리 막 그 사람들의 관심을 끌듯이 이게 좋은 게 많다가도 나쁜 게 하나 딱 나오면은 다 나쁜 걸로 생각하는 그런 경향이 있어요. 그래서 콜레스테롤을 이제 낮추게 하는 약이 있는데 그 약이 it saves hundreds, thousands of millions of people, but it has some side effects. But people are people, some YouTubers are trying to attract as many recruiters or subscribers as many possible. That's why they emphasize on the adverse effects and and generalize it. 그래서 제가 예를 하나 들고 왔어요. 하나 볼게요. 이거를 보시면은 이게 보이실지 모르겠지만 이게 콜레스테롤 해가지고 논문에다가 이렇게 쭉쭉쭉 해놓고 보시게 되면은 콜레스테롤 수치가 1mm 감소할 때마다 전체 사망률이 증가한다. 심혈관계가 뭐 14% 증가한다 그러거든요. 근데 이걸 갖다가 보면은 이 연구가 언제 나온 거냐면은 1987년도에 나온 거고요. 환자는 언제 모았냐면 2,000명을 언제 모았냐면은 1955년. 예.
It's a very long time ago.
예, long time ago. 스타틴이 1987년도에 처음으로 commercialized 됐거든요. 스타틴이라는 약이. 근데 여기 증가한다고 사망률이 증가한다고 했는데 여기 자세히 밑에 여러분들 이런 거는 이제 인터넷으로 검색해 보면은 다 나와요. 오픈 액세스이기 때문에 보면은 50대 미만에서는 콜레스테롤이 낮은 사람들한테서 사망률이 줄어들고 심장마비도 줄어들었다. 그리고 50대 이상에서는 콜레스테롤이 떨어졌지만 떨어짐과 함께 사망률이 증가했지만 콜레스테롤 말고 콜레스테롤과 다른 disease predisposing to death, 즉 사는 사람들이 죽은 이유가 is due to diseases predisposing to death란 거거든요. 그러니까 콜레스테롤하고 상관이 없는. 이때는 콜레스테롤 약도 없었어요. 예. 그리고 나이가 들면은 사람들이 이때는 50년대인데 지금처럼 막 그리시한 푸드 먹고 막 음식이 남아돌고 그러진 않잖아요. 예. 그러니까 이런 스터디를 봤을 때에는 이걸 가지고 콜레스테롤이 낮추면은 사망률이 증가한다. 젊은 사람들한테는 더 좋았는데 그거는 딱 빼놓고 그냥 나이 드신 분들이 콜레스테롤이 줄어들수록 더 증가했다. 그래서 콜레스테롤이 나쁘다. 콜레스테롤이 적는 게 더 위험하다. 이런 식으로 이렇게 오보를 하는 경우가 있어요.
So I have a question then, because obviously this is all science-based, it's all backed in science, but this is really kind of confusing for me, especially listening to the Korean. There's so many things that I don't get. In very simple terms, how can we choose foods and drinks and a lifestyle that is good for cholesterol? And then how do we avoid the 나쁜 cholesterol, for example? Yeah. So how do we make those decisions? Is there any kind of simple things that we can do in our diet or in our exercise or?
Well, in that case, I would say it's a quite simple question, but it's really complicated. Like I said, our body is our own unique creature on earth. So our body is not like a machine. It's not replaceable. So we have to personalize, we have to individualize the therapeutic strategy. So some people might not need anti-lipid medicine, which is a statin, even if his cholesterol level is over 300. But some people might need anti-cholesterol medicine if even his cholesterol level is less than 100. So 그래서 어떤 사람들한테 먹어야 되는지는 여러분 한국 동맥경화 지질학회를 가게 되면은 거기에 there's a website run by medical doctors. 거기 가게 되면은 사람들마다 타겟으로 하는 고지혈증의 레벨이 다르고 또 위험인자, risk assessment 하는 calculation 하는 게 있거든요. 그래서 어떤 사람한테는 130이 나왔는데 약을 먹어야 되고 어떤 사람은 약을 안 먹어야 되고 이런 것들도 있고 또 다른 테스트가 있어요. Like I said earlier, it's quite an antiquated, out-of-date test. So that's why doctors perform other peroxidase test, that whether your LDL is oxidized or not, or whether you have carrying other very low quality, low density lipoprotein or not. 이런 걸 해가지고 we have to factor in all those parameters or pieces together. It's a cholesterol is just one piece of the puzzle. 그래서 스트로크가 발생하는 경우에는 약 10% is attributable to cholesterol dyslipidemia, and then a heart attack is about less than 10% also is responsible for a heart attack. But what matters is that this anti-lipid medicine has not only lowering the cholesterol, but it has very potent anti-inflammatory entity.
And that's something that a lot of people kind of,
그래서
look over or maybe not as stressed as much as it should be.
맞아요. 그래서 사람들한테 이제 약을 써야 될 때는 항상 인디비주얼하게 해야 되는 건데 참 어려워요. 이게 제가 의사 생활 20년 하게 됐지만 for the past 20 years many things have changed. Well, the speed of advancement in technology is really hard to catch up with these days. So for instance, diabetes, when I was in school, I was taught only 4 different kinds of anti-diabetic medicines. But these days there are more than 10 different kinds of medicines, and the new pathogenic mechanisms have been revealed so far. 그래서 계속 새로운 것들이 나오고 그렇기 때문에 제가 가장 무서워하는 게 혹시 내가 치료하는 게 이게 잘못되지 않았을까? 뇌졸중도 마찬가지예요. 뇌졸중도 옛날에는 when it comes to stroke, ischemic stroke is 뇌졸중이죠. 뇌졸중 is divided into 2 categories. One is hemorrhagic stroke, 머리가 터지는 거, 혈관이 터지는 거. Another is ischemic stroke, we doctors used to treat those patients with aspirin. 아스피린 들어봤죠? 아스피린. 근데 아스피린이 요즘에는 잘 안 써요. 왜냐면은 among Asians, if you are over 65 or over 70, it might increase the risk of hemorrhagic stroke.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Aspirin was used as a blood thinner for so many
Yeah,
things.
that's right. Blood thinner. 아스피린은 또 이게 신기한 게 1000mg 이상이면은 antipyretic, BP, temperature lower, 즉 열을 떨어뜨리는 역할을 해주는데 이게 100mg or 300mg에서는 like it works like a blood thinner. 그 피를 묽게 해줘가지고 해주는 건데요. 묽게 해주다 보니까 막 동양인들은 입에서 막 잇몸에서 막 피가 나기도 하고 뭐 피를 토하기도 하고 아니면은 막 기침하다가 또는 머리에서 출혈이 발생할 수 있어서 아스피린 쓰는 경우에는 꼭 필요한 경우에만 써야 되는 거기 때문에 나 무조건 아스피린 먹어야지 뭐 뇌졸중 방지하기 위해서 먹어야지 이렇게는 하지 말고 항상 닥터하고 컨설트를 해야지 됩니다.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's because you mentioned the videos you saw on YouTube, and I'm sure as a doctor yourself, you might be, you might agree and might disagree with some of the videos that other, doctors might upload it. But when it comes to patients, people are concerned for their health and look up these videos. It might be sometimes just too much information for them, and they might just take it as is, whatever comes. So I think it's also important to note because you have, your opinions on a lot of the videos out there that might be misleading or not, telling the full picture. How can we also go about filtering incorrect information, especially on social media sites and streaming sites? Yeah, what should we be on the lookout for?
First of all, you need to listen to this BEFM. And then you need to brush up on your English skill because a lot of data are written in, a lot of good reliable data are written in English.
Okay, that helps,
Yeah,
right?
that helps, of course. And try to filter out very provocative titles.
Okay.
왜냐하면 그런 아주 자극적인 것일 경우에는 잘못된 것을 전달하는 경우가 있어요. 예. 그다음에 또 개인 채널 try to rely on rather try on some certified YouTube channel, certified some sources like 대학병 University Hospital이라든지 이런 organization에서 하는 것들이 조금 더 reliable 할 것이고 개인들이 하는 쪽에서는 조금 더 약간 less unreliable 할 수가 있기 때문에 그런 쪽으로 이렇게 구별을 좀 하실 수 있으면 좋을 것 같습니다.
Yeah.
예. 그래서 오늘은 그 리피딤이 콜레스테롤에 대해서 했는데 이것 말고도 다른 것들도 많아요. 근데
그렇죠. 그럴 것 같아요.
보니까 막 너무 속상한 게 많고 또 어떤 경우는 전문가가 아니면은 구별할 게 어려운. If you're not a professional in a certain field, you can. There's no way you can tell whether this information is true or not. For instance, this one, 이것도 새로 가져온 건데 이게 뇌졸중이 이제 이렇게 진행이 되는 거거든요. 이게 MRI 사진인데 이게 하얗게 될수록 그 이게 뇌가 망가지는 거거든요. 이 하얗게 될수록 망가지는 건데 이 하얗게 되는 원인 중에 가장 흔한 게 blood flow, blood circulation, hypertension이에요. 뇌졸중을 일으키는 원인 중에서. 근데 이런 사람들 연구를 이제 subgroup analysis라고 해가지고 그 이제 통계학적으로 이렇게 쪽쪽쪽쪽 이렇게 약간 좀 이렇게 뭔가 트위들링 하게 되면은 결국은 이거는 뭐 LDL 때문에 나빠진 거다 이런 식으로 결론을 딱 낼 수가 있거든요. 그 말은 좀 제가 쉽게 얘기하면은 문을 여니까 비가 내리고 비가 내리니까 저쪽에서 닥터 신이 마이크를 꺼버렸다 이렇게 했는데 이걸 갖다가 전혀 사이언스한 에비던스 없이 그냥 보이는 것만 딱딱 찍어가지고 문을 여니까 비가 내리는구나 이런 식으로 하는 거죠. 이게 말이 좀 될지 안 될지 모르겠지만
just basically people just reporting on information and just kind of spreading information just how they see it as is.
맞아요. 그렇죠.
Right?
그래서 이런 거를 볼 때에는 항상 전문가하고 자문을 구하는 게 좋겠고 또한 저도 의사로서 좀 더 열심히 더 공부를 해야 되겠다는 생각이 들고 요즘에는 정말 정보의 홍수인데 여러분들도 환자이지만 의사만큼의 더 널리지한 심지어는 의사보다도 더 방대한 널리지를 가질 수가 있어요. Have you watched the movie The Lawrence Oil?
No.
No, you've never.
No.
It's an it's a very incurable disease. But the parents were the parents, their son was dying actually. He had some gene mutation. That's why his brain is dying. So the doctors are very 어떻게 되죠? very cocky and doesn't want to take advice from their parents. But parents quit all their jobs and then decide to come up with some cure medicine, studying all this biochemistry and medical textbooks, and doctors neglected their opinion. But parents just finally made the solution, the remedy, the treatments, the medicine for his kids. It's based on real story. I was really moved by that. 그렇기 때문에 항상 그 공부를 여러분들 하시고 first of all listen to BFM. You can learn a lot of English. Not only that, a lot of very informative. 그런 trivias might help you in the long run. Never stop learning.
Right?
Claire-님, Claire-님 texting in saying two things. Stress can really cause cancer. People say that, but I couldn't believe it. And then also saying it's true. We need discernment in making decisions about health and sickness.
Yeah.
Dr. Ryu, do you want to address that one? Can stress really cause cancer?
맞습니다. 캔서뿐만 아니라 autoimmune disease뿐만 아니라
inflammation really.
저기 그 대상포진 싱글스를 일으키는 원인 중에 우울증이랑 스트레스도 있어요. 뿐만 아니라 캔서도 마찬가지고. 또 얼마 전에도 지난주에도 한 분 Bell's palsy 환자 봤었는데 she was also in a lot of distress. She was in the process of getting divorced and her family is about to on the verge of getting kind of a broken apart. That's why her situation, her health conditions keep deteriorating. So I feel really sorry for seeing this patient.
Definitely. Stress can do actually a lot of damage, wreckage to our bodies, right? Oh, Dr. Yu, thank you so much. I know we first started talking about, you mentioned cholesterol, hyperlipidemia, but I think we also touched on a very important subject, right? Kind of getting information, especially medical information, from other places, like when it comes to just the internet, not to social media and places. I think that's definitely good to keep in mind. Dr. Yu, that'll do it for today's segment with you. Thank you so much for another informative time that we had with you. You enjoy the rest of your night, okay?
예, 감사합니다. 저 닥터예요.
Yes, in the white coats.
Next time bring us an 아재 개그.
아재 오케이.
놓쳤어요. 너무 슬퍼요.
My 아재가 is getting rusty.
Yeah, maybe 2 for next week.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Yu, bye.
Bye. All right, let's have a song. This is The Carpenters, Close to You.
Here, every time you are near, just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled moon dust in your hair and golden starlight in your eyes of blue. That is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Just like me, they long to be close to you. angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled moon dust in your hair, of golden starlight in your eyes of blue. That is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Just like me, they long to be close to you. Just like me, they long to be close to you.
안녕하세요. 고품격 영어방송 인싸이 아웃 부산의 품격 있는 Writer Steve입니다. Winners of Inside Out Busan listeners participation segment will get full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in Geojedong and Yeonsandong, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권. A place to entertain your brain and eyes. Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳. Museum of Illusion 부산 착시미술관 입장권. 언제나 맛있는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 인투 로스터리. Coffee voucher and a pack of fresh coffee whole beans sponsored by Into Roastery in Yangsan. A delicious brunch for two from Gorilla Brewing Busan, Gwangan branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. We prepare admission tickets for the Busan X the Sky Top Floor Observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다. 부산 X the Sky 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. IOB와 함께하는 품격 있는 선물. It's all yours, listeners.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us here. It is time for Quote Unquote, and it's time for Minsu to give us something inspiring and profound.
Yeah, today's kind of profound, I would say. I don't know how inspiring it can be. Today I bring a quote from Henry Ford.
Oh, I love Henry Ford.
Henry Ford. I think I just recently saw a movie. What was it? Ford versus
Ferrari?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it Ferrari?
I
think it was, but it was like Matt Damon and like Christian Bale, right? But anyways, one of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his great surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do.
Yeah.
So once again, quote by Henry Ford, one of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his great surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure you, for sure me, and I'm sure many of our listeners have like, you know, one time in their lives when they came to the realization, oh, this wasn't as bad as I thought.
맞다.
Right? Yeah.
I love Henry Ford. Henry Ford also said, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you are right.
Oh. 맞아. Because if you think you can't, then you're not going to do it anyway. So you
then
can't.
you're right.
You're right, right? Yeah. But what was something that took a while for you to get over, whether it be a fear or like a worry? But once you got to it, or maybe got through it, it was like, it wasn't that bad.
Driving.
Yeah. Same can be said for my aunt. It took her forever to get the courage to drive on the freeway.
I didn't, I thought, and this thought went through my head, and I love driving, actually, but this thought went through my head. What if I can't do it? What if it's just one of these things that I don't ever learn how to, what if I just can't do it?
That's the same thought process I went through when I first learned how to ride a bike. It's like, I just don't think I could do it. And I'm going to be the laughingstock of my, grade or in high school. And like, I just can't do it. So it took me a little longer than compared to other people. Other people pick it up in like a day. It took me a good 2 weeks.
That's nothing. It's no time.
Yeah. But when you finally started driving and became good at it,
so
what did you think?
I was like, I'm driving. So what I used to do is yell at my family to shut their mouths because I needed to concentrate on the road.
Are you one of those, like, you would listen to music, but whenever you have to reverse, you turn down the volume?
Parking spot, volume comes down. I needed to be quiet because I need to think. I need silence for this reversing. Yeah. So I'd be like, can everybody please, and this is in Korea, because I learned to drive in Scotland, and I had a car, but I never had a license. So, and I didn't really need a car. And so then when I moved to Glasgow, back to Glasgow, I didn't have a car. I didn't drive anywhere. I didn't need to drive anywhere. When I moved to Korea, same. And then eventually I was like, I need to get my license. I want to go places. I need to get a car. So I passed my test for the first time when I was in Korea, many years ago now. And then, and I would make my son and my husband be very quiet. Listen,
Dead silent.
Nobody is allowed to talk. Stop singing. I love your singing, but Mummy needs to concentrate now. I'm freaking out. I remember driving one time from City Hall back to Centum. Very heavy traffic. And I didn't come through the Yunsan way. I went over the top. And so just traffic everywhere. And I was just like, I thought, maybe I can't do this. Maybe I just need to stop driving. A week later, you're fine. It's just a new thing. It's unfamiliar. That's why.
So you and I, once again, very on the same page on certain things, because actually, when I first came to Korea, I was driving for, 10, 12 years in California. But here coming to Korea, it was a whole nother fear that I had to get over because it was so crazy and hectic on the roads, especially here in Busan, right? So me getting used to just driving culture and the system here in Korea, I once, with my wife, then girlfriend, when we were dating, we took a day trip to Seoul. It took us 7 hours to get there, 9 hours to get back because I just couldn't handle speeding on the freeway for some reason. You know what I mean? But then after that, everything was
fine.
Yeah, it was fine. So after reading this quote, it was like, there's, I'm sure, more parts and aspects of my life where this is very relevant to me. But something like driving was something I found out, wow, maybe I could do this. And I came to realize that I could. And it was just a huge relief.
See, I'm kind of the mindset, 할 수 없는 것 없습니다.
맞아요.
I like to try and keep that in my brain, but sometimes a little bit of negativity gets there.
So Henry Ford's saying, you might surprise yourself. That you're able to do things that you thought you couldn't do. Right? So, listeners, hopefully, with Henry Ford's quote today, I guess kind of challenge yourself.
You can do it.
You could, according to Henry Ford. And that was today's very inspiring quote unquote.
Thank you very much, Minsu.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll be back with another one of yours tomorrow.
You will.
And until then, final song. This is my son's favorite song, Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Really?
Yeah, he's an 80s
How did I know?
music lover.
네.
Today's show produced by Kim Yoon, written by Im Soo-jin, hosted by Laura McCluskey.
And hosted by Min Soo-shin. Everybody have a safe night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.